Okay, quick little note that I want to talk about these two episodes. I like that they poked fun at the fan base a little bit, the people who ship Carol and Daryl, because there was this woman that said, something something your boyfriend, and they both said, "Oh no, we're not a thing. We never had." And then Daryl doubles down and says, "Nope." Because I think it was confirmed that they're never going to do a Daryl Carol type thing. They're soulmates in a friendship way, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is not going to be a in-depth breakdown because it would be so hard to remember every little detail about both episodes. But basically, the rundown is that we're seeing the backlash that Daryl caused with like killing the two people. It seemed to be brushed off the shoulders, but I actually have a theory of what happened, but we're not going to get into that. So essentially the two episodes were mainly talking about fixing up the boat, and then also Justina, I think that's her name, Justina, got kidnapped. At least that's what I picked up. The main place, I don't remember their name. The main place was like talking about, oh, Justina willingly left. She wanted to leave. And everybody, and obviously, I think his name's Fernando. I think that's his name. Fernando is like, no, that's not my girl. That doesn't sound like my girl. That sounds like bullshit. And what I assume happened is that the La Laverda, I only remember that, they're like the big bad. I assume La Laverda took Justina in retaliation for Daryl killing the two people, because it's pretty apparent she didn't want to leave. But yeah, it's definitely weird. But shit's getting twisted. But in the newest episode, there was this group that attacked. They're kind of like, they wear like wolf skin. We saw them in the first episode. They wear like animal skin and like animal masks. They're just genuinely psychopathic. But they were pretty cool. I liked it, honestly. I liked their whole thing. There's not much to note. The only things that I didn't like about the episode is that it's so weird. First off, the shots keep like, it's not as smooth as like the original show, because usually when it like would cut to commercial, obviously I have AMC Plus, so it's literally just a couple seconds of black screen and then it cuts to the next shot. But like there was a specific scene where it was like you hear the ringing of the bells, and Daryl and Carol were on the shore. Now all of a sudden we get a cut to them in the woods heading towards the place. They had a car. They had a car. But no. It was weird, dude. And then also some shots, and again, it's like one shot. There was literally a scene. There's literally two scenes in a row where it's like the scene with Carol had uh, golden lighting because it was during the day. And then all of a sudden, when it cuts to Daryl, it's all of a sudden like nighttime. It was so weird. And then also, another thing that I didn't really like is that the people who just died immediately got infected. Like, they immediately turned into zombies. It was so weird. The choices in this episode were so weird. And I know that The Walking Dead always gets ripped apart on how inconsistent turning is. I just assume it's different immune systems. But it's never been within like a couple minutes that you turn into a zombie. The only time it's ever been like a couple minutes. No, not even that, because Amy died. Amy got bit and died during the night. And then Andrea was like holding her for like the entire night, and then she turned in the daytime. This only took like a couple of minutes. It's just so confusing how quick the zombies turn in this episode. But yeah, so Fernando drives off to go see Julietta? Is that her? I don't know if I can remember her name. It was something like that. Go to see his long lost girlfriend. And there was this one guy that Daryl had to stop from shooting. So it's very much clear that these group of people were planning to kill him. And there's going to be like a punishment for Fernando, and I assume that's what's going to be happening in the next episode, is the punishment. But yeah, this episode was actually pretty good. I liked it. Despite the weird choices that they made, I still liked the episode. But yeah, definitely my favorite scene was when they poked the bear of the fans, saying like, yeah, they're probably never gonna date. Though, I will say, I do think that they might be playing into the idea. Because what I assume is going to happen is that Fernando and Juliet are going to be getting on the boat with Daryl and Carol. They're going to be smooching and stuff. And then Daryl and Carol are like, hey, maybe there's something here. But yeah. So that's it for this review. I give this episode, honestly, an 8 out of 10. Pretty solid episode. There was a lot of intense moments. There was some moments I thought Fernando was definitely gonna die. These two episodes put together pretty solid. But yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, see you guys later.